Westward is a podcast about the birth of professional basketball in Los Angeles and what the city's two teams represent today. It is told through the man who was and is at the center of both, Jerry West.
A production of the Dan Patrick Podcast Network.
Listen to Westward on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning, it's Big Show on the radio.
I'll never forget the first time I met John Boy and Billy. John Boy carrying Billy around wrapped up in a little towel. Making sounds, kindly like a cat. Weren't no bigger than a squirrel. John Boy wanted me to bury him out back under that rock, but he kept crawling out of that towel. After a while, I ordered to let him go. And he crawled off, Summers. John Boy don't carry him around in a towel no more. Got a little basket for him. Little feller. Little feller.
Big Show's on the radio. I like this waking up music. He did 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
We're not crazy about what you're doing with it. Yeah, the music's great.
I did like it, but now you're ruining it.
All right. Well, we got the whole crew in here. Good morning, whole crew.
Good morning, you.
Hello.
It's National Freezer Pop Day on this July the 8th.
Are those is freezer pop? Is that fake ice cream popsicle thing?
I guess it is. What you fill it up with a tray, and then you
you put like Kool-Aid or something like in it, and makes a.
And then you put a stick in it, and freezes around the stick, make your own.
The ones I was talking about, the ones that they're like 12 inches long and very narrow.
Oh, and they're in plastic.
Yeah, and it's you buy them unfrozen and put them in the freezer.
Yeah. Oh, it's in like a plastic bag, and then you just kind of squeeze it out the top.
Yeah, I never liked it.
His favorite ways to cool off with a frozen sweet treat, so that would do it. I get plastic. Keep them in the freezer. You hot, you come in, get one out. Yeah, not bad. And today is National Chocolate with Almonds Day. Salute to one of my go-to candy bars, Hershey's bar with almonds.
Yeah, that's the best. And good salute to Hershey for not cutting back on the almonds.
There you go.
You can count on how many almonds are going to be in the candy bar.
Good work. So we're ready to celebrate frozen treat and chocolate with almonds. Yeah. All right. Well, we got 3 dates in this are saved up. We'll get our first prize pack out and get you ready for outbursts. You know, that's a plan. Let's wake up. Big Show's on the radio. Good morning, Big Show's on the radio. Let's look at our first prize packet. Ooh, John Boy and Billy 5-gallon bucket filled with Liquid Performance automotive cleaning and detailing products. Of course, Liquid Performance is the world's highest quality full synthetic gasoline and diesel fuel additives. Do have appearance, maintenance, and performance products. You go to BigShow.com, click on the banner, just enter code JBB at checkout. You get 20% off. Listen up right now and you can win you some. Our 3 dates in history where we'll get our category. July the 8th, it was 1881. Edward Berner of Two Rivers, Wisconsin, served the world's first ice cream sundae. So, let's think about this. He offered his sundae concoction only on Sundays. That's why it was called a sundae, even though it is spelled different than the day Sunday.
Well, he wasn't real good at spelling. So
he was better at ice cream than spelling.
Yeah, sure was. Go, Edward, 1881, all right? Move up to 1889. The Wall Street Journal published its very first edition. Been in business for a while. Newspaper, huh? And then finally it was on this date in 1995, with his own gravelly voice blaring from a boombox, disc jockey Wolfman Jack was buried in Belvedere, North Carolina.
By the way, he had died. They weren't burying him, and he was trying to...
Wasn't one of them stunts. Yeah, the gravestone displayed his real name, which was Robert Weston Smith, and the words, "One more time."
Bam.
Wolfman Jack. Well, check, man. Was he in the North Carolina Broadcasters Hall of Fame like me and Billy?
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
I don't know. I don't remember.
You know where the one more time came from is if he had a record that was really hot and got a lot of requests, he'd play it and then say one more time and play the same song again.
Keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be a wild disc jockey like that.
Yeah. Many a program director have yelled at you for playing the same song.
I figured I was doing a good job. Remember when Kagan, the guy who put me and Billy and you together?
Oh, sure, yeah.
He would come in and take these song lists, come stand in front of me, rip it, throw it in the air, and walk out. All right.
And I guess he did that so many times that you just became numb to it because you would do it again. Oh, wait. No, you didn't care.
And then he'd yell one more time for some reason.
Now, the other program director that would do something similar to that was Jack Daniel when he was program director of us. And he would come in and tear up the music log, and you would say, "But people like it." And he would go, "Don't you tell me about the broadcast."
One of our big go-to catchphrases, even to the day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's our categories. 1-800-BIG-SHOW's your toll-free line we set up. We'll play Outburst next. Good morning. It's a big show on the radio. Rolling through you Thursday morning. Video today brought to you by Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. Shaq makes ordinary things look tiny.
I'm obsessed with Shaquille O'Neal.
I know you've been talking about him for a while.
He is.
I finally discovered him. He's
just a genuinely nice guy. But he's huge. I mean, huge.
I love it. Look at him holding up a donut. It looks like a Pez.
It kind of looks like one of those mini donuts, you know.
It does,
in
man.
his hand, like a water bottle in his hand looks like one of those little wax sippies.
Check it out. I didn't really notice that until this video of the day. So good work. Your obsession is working out for us. It's fun at thebigshow.com. All right. And now, Good Eye Thursday, winning beginning.
Outburst, let's play Outburst. It's the game that anyone can win. John Boy and Billy give you prizes from the big prize bin. Let's go meet contestant number one. This should really be a lot of fun. When you're playing Outburst, have a hurry up and guess time. You'll have the best time. You'll have a big show time.
Let's say hey to Scott from Bedford, Virginia.
We'll have a big show time.
Scott! Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, gentlemen. How y'all doing this morning?
We are good, off to go there, buddy. Glad you made it in here. We're pulling for you, get through these categories and get you that big old John Boy and Billy bucket with liquid performance stuff. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, in 5 seconds, in honor of old Edward up here in Wisconsin, making a Sundays on Sunday, we need 3 Sunday toppings. Ready, go.
Bananas, ice cream, whipped cream.
That'll work. All right. I like the Sundays where they put the ice cream on top and then the fruits on the bottom. You ever had upside down Sunday?
You are wild. I have never heard of that, but I'm going home to do it right now.
Get to know me. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, Scott, let's go to category number 2. 3 national newspapers. Ready, go.
Wall Street Journal, New York Times, USA Today.
That'll work.
About the only 3 left.
Seems like it, don't it? All right, Scott, for the win, 3 things in a cemetery. Ready to go?
Flowers, headstones, and dead people.
Yeah. That was one of the first jokes I remember my dad told me. He said, you know how many dead people's buried in that cemetery? I said, oh, how many? He said, all of them.
And see, my dad said, you know why there's a fence around that graveyard? I said, no. He said, that's because people are dying to get in.
Oh, wow.
Dad jokes. I like
Yeah. Hey, good work, Scott. Liquid Performance Prize Pack headed up to Bedford for you.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all have a great day.
Back at you, my boy. All right, hang on. Bottom of the hour, top of your news, right on the other side, our time capsule for this July the 8th. Early morning risers, hang on for a line.
This is the award-winning John Boy and Billy Big Show. The South's #1 export.
Hello.
Hey, it's Hoyt.
All my life, want to fight about it?
Not right now, Hoyt. I'm not feeling too well. John Boy Billy here.
Oh, what you say there, typhoid Johnny?
Don't.
There he goes again.
Don't.
Hoyt, don't make him laugh.
Don't make me laugh,
all
Hoyt.
right. I'll do my best.
Okay.
Not a good thing to say when we're getting ready to do a phone call.
Yeah, well, no. Well, we just wanted to check in with you, see how you doing, man.
Oh, again. I'm sorry, see, I already broke my promise.
I'm sorry. Why? What's wrong, man?
I'm just stuck in this trailer wet in the sticks with Debert and his daddy.
Oh, man, Reed's still living with you guys.
Yeah, him and wife number 6 going through that messy divorce.
Oh, man.
He's sleeping on the couch till he gets back on his feet.
Never did patch it up with her, huh?
No, she had a lot of growing up to do.
Uh-huh.
And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. You know, he likes them young.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he's on the phone arguing with her about who gets the easy bake oven.
Young girl.
I'm telling you, it's mean, too.
Well, tell him we hope everything turns out all right. What else is happening?
Not too much. Me and Debert had a weird experience yesterday morning. We pulled us a couple of lawn chairs up in the front yard. We was sitting there having a cup of coffee before work.
Uh-huh.
And just kind of watching the traffic go by out here on the highway.
Yeah.
And this big old truck with a state emblem pulls up across the road. And fella gets out with a shovel, and he digs him a hole. It's about 2 feet across and about 3 feet deep. Mm-hmm. And he gets back in the truck. Well, the truck just sits there for, 4 or 5 minutes. And finally, this fella gets out of the passenger side of the truck with another shovel. He walks over to the hole and fills it back up with dirt.
Oh.
And then he gets back in the truck. And here's where it gets real weird. They pull up about 20 feet and stop, and the first fella gets out again, digs another hole like the first one, and gets back in the truck. 5 minutes go by, second fella gets out. I have a doggone if he don't fill that second hole back up, too.
Man.
And he gets back in the truck, they pull up another 20 feet, same thing again. Well, sir, they did this 4 or 5 times while we sat there watching them.
Man.
And finally, curiosity got the best of me. I walked over across the road, knocked on the window of the truck, and he rolls it down. I said, "Excuse me there, buddy. Me and my friend over there have been watching you for the past 15 minutes. It's got us stumped. Just what in the hell are you boys doing?" He says, "Well, we're with the governor's highway beautification project, and the fella that plants the trees called in sick today."
Oh boy.
I hope I didn't kill you, Dad. I tried to rein it in a little bit so you wouldn't actually die on the radio.
I appreciate it, Hoyt.
All right,
man.
Hey, let's not gonna run. You gonna see good running on?
Yeah, probably will.
Well, you tell him I said, duh.
right.
He'll know what you mean.
All right.
Y'all keep him straight up there.
John Boy and Billy.
You want to save some time? The next time you rent a DVD, don't bother rewinding it. The way I see it, it's the next guy's problem.
Morning radio done right.
Good Thursday morning. Big Show's on the radio. All right, here's that call. Good morning, Big Show.
John Boy and Billy.
Yo.
Mad Max here.
How's it going, buddy?
Well, how you think it's going?
Well.
I'm madder than a sack full of doorknobs.
Wait.
Oh, wait, that's how lumpy I am.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I got some sports news for you boys. Shakira Richardson, the fastest woman in the world right now, got suspended from the U.S. Olympic team for flunking a drug test. Now, she tested positive for marijuana, which is on the naughty list with steroids and HGH and all the other what you call performance-enhancing substances. Now, the way I heard it, she found out her mother was dead right in the middle of a TV interview.
Ooh.
Not a great thing to hear, and definitely not a great time to hear it. Well, she says she was so upset she smoked some pot to deal with the news. Now, she admits it, she apologized, and she ain't whining about it. She got a 30-day suspension, which might be just enough to make her miss out on the Tokyo Olympics. The International Anti-Doping Board says their decision is final, to which I'd just like to say, my big old international butt. Now, first of all, weed is a performance enhancer. When did that happen? Y'all, I'm in the construction business, which means I work with a whole bunch of 25-year-old white boys and Mexicans. And from what I've seen, weed never enhanced anybody's performance at anything. Point number two, are we really going to knock this poor gal out of an Olympic gold medal because of something that's legal in 18 states, including Oregon, which is where she won the race that got her on the Olympic team? She's the fastest woman in the world. She's Usain Bolt with boobs. Any idiot knows weed didn't do that. She did that. You know, the older I get, the more I think all these anti-doping rules in sports are a bunch of horse hockey anyway. I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but I think we should let athletes eat, drink, swallow, and snort anything that'll help them play better. Let's see what modern medical science can do for modern athletics. Why? Because I'm a sports fan. Well, Max, not every athlete wants to take all that stuff. Fine. We'll have a regular league and a steroid league. Well, what if the performance enhancers make a sport too easy? Well, then make it harder. Raise a hoop from 10 to 20 feet. Make a basketball court 100 yards like a football field. If the NFL guys get too swole up, we'll get rid of helmets and pads. As the saying goes, modern problems require modern solutions. But, Max, athletes need to be good role models. Well, Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, took a picture hitting a bong at a frat party, and he was on the Wheaties box 3 different times. Do team owners want the best players they can get? Yes, they do. Should season ticket holders get the top-notch performances they pay to watch? Yes, I should. The bottom line for me, boys, let Weed Girl go to the Olympics. And if anybody knows where to get that performance-enhancing weed, I know a couple of drywall guys that could use some help. Now, sit down, shut up, and quit ruining my life. John Boy and Billy, y'all have a nice day.
It's a Big Show on your radio. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, it's the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and we're talking about the John Boy and Billy Big Show. I say the Big Show, and every morning they be styling and profiling. Woo!
Good morning. It's a Big Show on the radio, Thursday, July the 8th. This portion of the broadcast brought to you by Whitey Ford.
Want a new Ford car or truck but think you can't afford it? Think again. Big Red Johnson says,
Come get the new Ford of your choice right now at Whitey Ford. Pick it out, drive it home.
no money down, no security deposit, no first payment. In fact, no payments at all. It's absolutely free. How can Big Red Johnson give you the new Ford of your choice for free?
Because I don't own Whitey Ford. Frank Whitey does, and for the last 6 months, he's been messing around with my wife.
Big Red Johnson has been wronged.
You dang skippy. But that's all over now. I got them both tied up right here in the showroom.
He's got a gun, too.
For what Frank Whitey's done to me, I ought to kill him. Instead, I'm going to hit him right where it hurts the most.
In the pocketbook.
You want a car? Come get it. Free. Keys are on the big board out front. I'll be right here till the last car's gone, or till the SWAT team shows up.
It's the You're Lucky I Don't Kill You, you no good son of a inventory clearance. Hurry in now to Whitey Ford. And remember, Big Red Johnson says,
Don't try anything funny, and nobody gets hurt. Offer good on in-stock models only. No dealers, please.
Good morning. Got a big show on the radio. You've been to some weddings lately. Hang on. We got a few minutes with Marvin Webster you'll enjoy. And, just a sec. Let me tell you about the prize pack getting ready to play for on John Boy Jeopardy. It's 2 great board games from the Op Games. If you're looking for an easy, fun party game for all ages, Blank Slate is the game for you. And Hues and Cues is different than other board games. Connecting colors and clues has never been this fun. Hang on. Play for it in minutes. First, a few minutes with Marvin Webster.
Yo, what's up? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man.
Hey, man, a friend of mine named Mike got married over the weekend. I got invited, so I went. Because, Mike is a good dude. But I am the only black man he knows. So I was the only black man at the wedding. Now, I got a bunch of white friends, so I have been in this situation before.
Right.
It ain't bad during all the I do's and whatnot. Where it gets tough is at the reception. Now, being the only black dude in the room ain't no big deal till the bride gets done dancing with her daddy and they cut the cake and all that, because that's when they crank up the music for the drunk Caucasian dance party. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I knew I was in trouble when I saw the DJ. Tall, curly-headed white dude. See, that ain't right. If the DJ at the reception is some thick, dark, CeeLo green-looking brother with aviator shades, it's all good. Yeah. But if you get bony-ass DJ Whitey, it's going to be painful. DJ Whitey don't know nothing about party music. What's he always kick it off with? Y'all know, Kool and the Gang, Celebration. The whitest party song in America. Celebrate good time, come on. Ain't nothing wrong with Kool and the Gang. But I think Kool was hanging out with a gang of white people when he wrote that one. And ain't nothing makes a black man nervous like a room full of drunk white folks yelling, Yahoo! Now, sometimes DJ Whitey will kick it off with the Black Eyed Peas, which don't help at all. Let's get it started in here. No, let's not. Why do white people need somebody to tell them when it's time for the fun to start? That's why people at the white dance party always do that line dancing jazz, the electric slide and whatnot. White people love to line up and have somebody tell them how much fun to have. I guess it comes from all them trips to Disney World when they was a kid. Oh, and one line dance is bad enough, but it ain't just the electric slide no more. You hear that? It ain't going to be long till they follow it up with the cha-cha slide. Y'all heard that one? Oh, slide to the right, slide to the left. Right foot one time, left foot one time. Reverse, reverse. What's up with that? It's like an inner city square dance going on. White folks need to do what my people do. Work out your dance moves before you get to the damn party, okay? But the most painful part of the evening comes hour number 2. That's when some tore-up 40-year-old white woman and her friends go over and make DJ Whitey put on the Grease medley. Oh, Lord. One song from Grease is bad enough. Now we got 2 or 3 in a row. Hell to the no. A couple more quick notes here for white wedding people. Number 1, the roof is not on fire, okay? Ain't before people in this room know how to dance. There's an 8-year-old girl, there's the mother of the bride, and the 2 gay guys that playing the wedding. Everybody else need to sit down. And number 2, it might be getting hot in here, but ain't nobody gonna take off all their clothes. That's just the groom's drunk Uncle Fred. Y'all know Fred. He's an old dude, been hammered since about 10 minutes after he walked in the door. Fred is the one that always hits on the bridesmaids, you know. That's the part I like to watch, especially when it goes a little bit too long and the bridesmaid's boyfriend take Uncle Fred outside and lay an ass whooping on him. Now it's a party. Celebrate good time. Come on. Y'all think about it. I'm Marvin West.
All right, Marvin. Keep on moving around, buddy. Funny stuff. All right, let's play John Boy Jeopardy. Review yesterday's question. We found out if you're having a All-American hangover, you should know that researchers say drinking 8 to 12 ounces of water and eating this fruit can help you feel better.
What are bananas?
Bananas, because hangovers are primarily caused by dehydration and a lack of potassium, which water and bananas help to restore.
And you hardly ever see a monkey with a hangover.
Right. Good thinking.
Today is John Boy Jeopardy. Believe it or not, back in the mid-50s, legendary race car driver Lee Petty once exited the pits and completed a full lap with one of these stuck on his hood.
What is a great big pair of wraparound sunglasses? And Richard said, that's it. That's my trademark.
He might have got that from Lee. What y'all got? 1-800-BIG-SHOW, you toll-free line across America. We play John Boy Jeopardy next. Good Thursday morning. Big Show's on the radio. Video today brought to you by Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. Shaq makes ordinary things look tiny. Check this out. What is done? Shaq, big old boy.
Yes.
Right there at thebigshow.com. Make your daily visit. And right now, let's play.
Yes, live across America, it's John Boy Jeopardy.
Tell him, Pearl.
And now, a man who makes tiny things look ordinary. He calls it the reverse shack. He's John Boy.
Let's say hey to Andy out of Meridian, Mississippi. Good morning, Andy.
Good morning, John Boy and Billy.
Good morning, buddy. All right, Ange, you first up here. Let's see what you got. Talking about back in the mid-50s, legendary race car driver Lee Petty once exited the pits and completed a full lap with one of these on his hood.
I think that might be one of his crew members, a pit crew member.
Let's see. Is it pit crew member? You got it.
Hey.
And full speed.
I would not. That was not my first guess.
Now, you want to know the kicker? It was his boy, Richard Petty. So young
even his
Richard
son.
was cleaning the windshield. And he wasn't quite quick enough.
Yep.
Lee didn't notice because he was looking around to get out of the track.
Yep, by the time he hit the apron, he said he turned back, and then Richard staring at him through the windshield.
And he motioned to him to hold on.
I had to go, son.
Richard was destined for greatness at an early age, making a fast lap.
No
here.
fear.
I bet he did hold on.
He sure did.
Best I could tell, he would have been.
Tell him to hold on.
Richard would have been somewhere between 12 and 15.
All right. Well, you young enough to hold on there.
Yeah.
Like that. Wow. And I got some more stuff about Lee Petty when we get to it in a couple of minutes. Don't want y'all to hang on for that. But right now, Andy, Jackie going to hook you up with this Op Games prize pack. Get it down to Meridian for you.
Okay, good deal.
All right, buddy. Bottom of the hour, top of your news, right on the other side. More on Lee Petty. So they're talking about him riding his boy Richard on the hood of his race car around for a hot lap. Oh, God. Good morning. Big Show's on the radio. You just tuned it in. A few minutes ago on John Boy Jeopardy, we found out that Lee Petty drove a lap around full speed in a race with his boy, young Richard Petty. About you figured up he was about 12, 13 years old. He was cleaning the windshield in the pits. Lee took off, had Richard on the hood, told him to hold on. Good hot lap before he came in, dropped him off.
So you think Richard is the first driver ever to go out and do a hot lap inside and outside the car?
Yes.
One of the many things on the King's list, I guess, right
They
here.
say Lee Petty was super competitive. There was just no stopping him.
Yeah, man, this
His
proved
son's on the hood, and he said, hold on.
That's
right.
That should tell you something.
He's a good ornament.
It's something Randy found out researching that. So during a race in Atlanta, when Lee Petty was still racing and his boy Richard was in his rookie year, they had a race going, man. We're going to talk, by the way, we're talking to Doug. Boys going to Atlanta this weekend. But anyway, so it was Atlanta, and the two were battling side by side, less than 10 laps to go. So it was beating, banging. Richard went on to win the race, making him a first-time Cup winner during his rookie year. But hours after the race was over, a dispute was filed by none other than Lee Petty. Wow. So Lee contended that Richard had actually been one lap down and was erroneously credited with an extra lap. So officials investigated and agreed with Daddy Lee. They changed the official results, demoting Richard to third place and declaring Lee the race's winner.
Look, I love him and all, but business is business.
That's right.
And Richard Petty quoted as saying,
Dispute took the win away from his boy, gave it to him. So later in a newspaper interview, Lee was quoted as saying, I would have protested my mother if I needed to.
yeah, he sure was.
And then his mother quoted saying, hey, what did I do?
And that was sometimes here in NASCAR over the years, you know, you kind of see that quote come back. I remember when Rusty wrecked Darrell Waltrip in one of the first All-Star races. Mm-hmm. You know, Rusty said, I'd have wrecked my mother for $250,000. Yep. That was the purse back then. So anyway, so mama's very important. And obviously daddies will want to win that race.
It's definitely the top tier of what you would cross over.
That's right. All right, dude. Good stuff, Randall. Good Thursday morning. Big Show's on the radio. All things NASCAR. It's On Track with Doug Rice. Coming up about 20 minutes from right now. But right now, it's time to act like...
Yo, what's up? Out, Patrick, out. Don't come in here with Pearl after you run through the sprinkler and shake off. Get out. Go outside and do that. Welcome to Axe Ike. The place to go for all the 411 you need for all your, what you call intrapersonal relationship-y. Dig this. Dear Mr. Turner, I have followed your advice for a long time now. However, I find myself in a situation only you can help with. Several months ago, I stumbled on a group of older women celebrating a divorce. I had never commingled with a pack of cougars before, but all I can say is, damn. It was a life-changing experience. She had 3 rules, no names, no numbers, and one night only. She rocked my world. From that day, I've compared every woman to my mystery hookup. No one ever came close. Until a few weeks ago. I met a young girl, and she has it all. Easy on the eyes, smart, tight body, and wild. I put wild the emphasis on just because. Well, last weekend, it was time to meet her mother. You guessed it. She was my mystery woman. I don't know what to do. Mom was cool as a cucumber and whispered that no one has to know. Part of me says fess up. The other part says take it to my grave. What should I do? Tortured in Tampa. Oh, God. Dear Torture. Give me a second to catch my breath here, brother. Did you really just ask me, what should I do? Really? Brother, if I was you, I would go out and play the lottery. I'd get into the stock market and invest in cryptocurrency right now. You have done struck the booty bonanza. The gigolo jackpot, the skank sweepstaculous. What should you do? What's the matter with you, boy? Is you stupid? Oh, Lordy, oh, why, God, why? Why does you waste these things on white boys? But I regress. Let me preach on it. Now, the odds of this ever happening is a basquillion to 1. To ignoramus, the strokety of luck would be the epitome of foolishosity. Does you know how many of your friends would beat your dumb cracker ass to take your place? You living a dream, player. Look, hot divorcified mamacita has already said no one need to know. Are you inculpable of reading between the sheets? She is saying you can have your hoe cake and your faux show cake at the same time. You are like that dumbass Jake from State Farm. That hippie girl loading him down with them Flintstone-sized steaks. And then she says, meet me around back in 20 minutes and I'll hook you up with the good parts. If you think good parts is more steaks, what's up with you, man? Yo, check it. Another thing you got to do is dig that this ain't gonna last forever. I mean, lots of stuff can go wrong, not even counting getting caught with her drawers around her cankles. Now remember, Mom is hip to the scene. She is canoodling with her own damn daughter's man. She is stank. She knows she stank. Stanks can do all kinds of deviosity. She might use your little secret to blackmail you, my brother. You don't give in. She spills the beans to daughter. Then you get kicked out of the corral, and then you got no heifers to milk. The upside to that is daughter might be just as stank as Mom, and all of a sudden, you is letter of the month at Penthouse Forum. Another problem you're going to have is keeping up. No punk intenderated. Maintaining 2 active, lustful lifestyles take a lot out of a man. Ask me how I know. You got to stock up on things to keep you in tippity-toppity shape. How does I do it? Well, I make a smoothly I take twice a day. 1 can of Red Bull, 2 can of barbecue Viennes, a can of Sterno, a big old squirt of vitamin BH12, and a half a bottle of Ripple. Now, Mad Dog 2020 will do in a pinch. Here's a tip. Don't break wind near an open flame. Chapped cheeks will put a pamper on your buns up and wheeling activities. And even if everything goes without a hitchification, you got to know that Father Time can be a mother. Sexy Mom might be a hot potato now, but in a few years, them taters gonna be mashed. And them hot moves that she does to make your blood pump ain't gonna seem quite so hot through the smell of Bengay. And when you start seeing her drinking Geritol instead of Martinis, you're gonna start looking at the daughter and thinking, damn, is that where this is going? Then you right back to where you started, except now you is the old one, and finding the right girl now is gonna be tough. Cause no one wants a geezer. No one wants an old broke down war horse, brother. All of a sudden, all them gold records, they don't matter no more. That shag carpet in the Broham is too old school. Well, you really can go to hell. I'm a turner, damn it. So good luck, Tortured. Because you're going to need it. I gave you advice. Make sure that you heed it. But being a heartbreaker can cut both ways. Do it wrong and you're alone for the rest of your days. So play it cool, player. And while the sun shines, make hay. Or you wind up alone. And your friends think you gay. And if they both turn out wrong, take them heifers to class. Remember, you got 2 feet. 1 for each ass. This is Ike Turner, damn it! Peace out.
If you want to act psych, mail to act psych, John Boy Billy, P.O. Box 19111, Charlotte, NC 28219.
I'm not trying to damn it.
All right, though. So Randy looked it up. Subway is still the largest fast food restaurant chain.
Yep, in the United States. 41,600 locations. Number 2 is McDonald's with 38,695. Number 3, Starbucks.
How about that? Yep. All right. Well, Tater's enjoying our Bojangles biscuit. Famous chicken and biscuits.
I was going to share, but now I'm not gonna.
All right, let's jump out, catch you up on your news. Brand new tune from Hoyt in 20 minutes. Good morning. This is a big show on the radio for 40 years. Making us the longest syndicated radio show in the United States of America. Proud to be here because of you great listeners. Yeah, thank you so much. And we've had some great sponsors over the years. And some kind of like this.
No.
Check it out.
Hi, folks. This is Fast Freddy along with Chuck Whitey from Whitey Ford Lincoln Mercury Isuzu. Chuck, I hear you're kicking off the new year with a bang.
That's right, Freddie. We just got a special allocation from the factory, but that means...
Let me guess, you don't have enough space on the lot, so you got to blow out the current inventory at Whitey Ford to make room for the cars and trucks that are on the way.
That's right, Freddie. All weekend long, we're having
an emergency clearance sale.
Yeah, we're slashing
prices to the bone.
Right, and
no reasonable offer will be refused during this special event.
Yeah.
And you're offering rebates and special savings that could save you up to $10,000 on some models.
That's right. Wait a minute, how much?
$10,000 instant cash in your pocket.
Not exactly, but we are offering...
A big push-pull drag sale starts Saturday morning at 6 a.m. You'll pay $5,000 for any trade-in regardless of model or condition.
No, we won't. Where are you getting this stuff?
And the first 50 customers on Saturday get a free 7-day vacation in Aruba.
They do not, Freddie.
Credit problems? No problem. Not only will you finance them, you'll co-sign for any 36-month loan personally.
No. Freddie, are you out of your cotton picking? Could you excuse me for just a sec? Hello.
Chuck, this is Ed Holzbuehler, sales manager at Power 88.7. You know that guy Fast Freddy that comes over to tape your commercials every week? Well, we found out he's got some kind of mental problem. They had to fire him this morning. So if he comes by there, whatever you do, don't let him in.
That's gonna be a little tough, Ed.
Ed? Is that backstabbing Ed, the giant liar?
No. This is Ed from the service department.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he was just telling me to mention a great service here at Whitey Ford. Well, listen, I know you probably need to get back to the station to put the commercial together.
I got nothing but time. Sit down.
I really need to get going here. We're doing a lot of inventory
I
today.
said sit down. Nobody's going anywhere. We're going to be here till the last customer is dead.
Don't you mean till the last customer is served?
I know what I said. Okay, folks, come on down. And if you're not here in 30 minutes, I'm going to start throwing bodies out the door.
Don't miss the boss is fine, the announcer's gone crazy emergency clearance sale going on right now at the Mighty Whitey Ford Lincoln Mercury Isuzu on State Road 23 near the frontage road. All sales final, no cops, please.
Good morning, Big Show's on the radio. Coming up, the easiest way for you to get in the winner's circle is the current events quiz. Take C, get a hat, t-shirt, tumbler, and a $25 gas card from Law Tigers. Law Tigers, motorcycle lawyers who ride, representing injured riders for over 2 decades. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Go to thebigshow.com, click on the Law Tigers banner, see about all the big giveaways, biggest giveaways in Sturgis history coming up next month. You can win that deal right there. All right. Well, now it is time for On Track with Doug Rice. I'm the man from the Performance Racing Network in his studios at Charlotte Motor Speedway before a trip down to Atlanta this weekend. Doug Rice. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, practically setting on the suitcase here, getting ready to head down 85. Actually, Hampton, Georgia, south of the ATL, but still a nice trip.
All right. So traffic not too bad, huh, in Atlanta these days?
Horrible. Terrible. Yes. No, I take that back. No.
All right.
And it's one of the few places that they've widened the roads, and it still takes longer to get from here to there.
That's true.
It's an anomaly in space and time.
All right, before you take that trip on, talk about Chase Elliott's trip around Road America last weekend.
Pretty impressive. Got back into the groove, led 24 laps up there for the first time NASCAR had been to Road America in over 50 years. Said he found his rhythm about halfway through the race, figured out where he needed to brake, where he didn't need to, and drove away from the rest of the competition, won by almost 6 seconds. Looked like Chase Elliott did last year on the road course. That's his second win of the year, and I think has to bolster that team, which, frankly, we've talked about it a good bit, had not been that impressive, but he found his groove and won where he's supposed to win back on a road course.
It's talked about finding rhythm, man. It's just amazing when you look at all the gears they're changing, when they're braking, and how many corners. And the first time they've been there, it's just crazy how you get settled in and get that track dialed in like that.
And some guys find that real easy, and there are drivers who struggle with it their entire career. Going left and right just isn't their forte.
Right.
But if you're going to be good in the NASCAR universe of 2021, 22, and forward, you better spend some time perfecting your art on the road courses, because I think that from going forward, to be 6 or 7 of these on the schedule every year. You can't just dismiss them like drivers used to when, say, we only went to Watkins Glen and or Sonoma or way back in the day, Riverside. I don't have to be good. That's only 2 races. Now you have to have some proficiency there.
Boy, that's a great point, Doug. That is a great point. From now on, you better spend some time and get good on them things, man.
You can't throw them away.
That's it. And I say Denny Hamlin still holding on to the points lead. Kyle Larson is in second place. He hadn't won since we talked last time.
No, remarkable, isn't it? And, Kyle Larson, a bit of tough luck, and eventually the luck bandit catches you. Got run off the course by his own teammate Alex Bowman, who had lost his brakes, hits Kyle, spins him out, cost him a chance at a really good finish. He still came home in pretty good place, but not where he could have. And that lets Denny Hamlin go into Atlanta with a lead of -3 in the regular season points. And you're going, well, why is that important? It's important because if Denny can hang on to that lead till we get to the end of the regular season, we've ran 20 races, 26, and the final one will be in Daytona, will give you an extra 15 championship points in the championship races, and that's where it counts. So that's what he's looking at right now. I think it's tenuous, but he's still hanging on to it.
All right. And before I get you picks for us to look at in Atlanta, what about some major changes are coming, Doug, to Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Big announcement from Speedway Motorsports, the company that I work for that owns PRN, that after this upcoming race in Atlanta, that they are basically redoing the track. They are going to go in and increase the banking from 24 degrees, which is where it is now, to 28 degrees. Wow. It will be the steepest bank intermediate track on the circuit. They're also going to narrow it up a little bit, go from 52 to 50 feet on the straightaways, 42 to 42 feet in the turn. So it's going to be faster. It's going to be more narrow. We will see what that brings us when we get back down there in the spring of 2022. And I'm going to be honest, the racing the last 4 or 5 years at Atlanta hasn't been scintillating. It's allowed one driver or a combination of the race and the tires or whatever you want to say to get out and just dominate the race. When we were down there in the spring, Larson led 3/4 of the race. He fell off at the end and Blaney passed him. Up until then, Kevin Harvick had owned the joint. So there was a phase we went to that Atlanta was the best track on the circuit. It was the most competitive. Guys were passing for the lead. They were battling 3 and 4 wide all around the place. And even though the drivers love the worn-out racing surface, the last few years it hasn't put on the best show. So they're going to try something new. High banks, repaved, narrow it up, It should be blazing fast. We'll see what the result is when we get down there in the spring of next year.
All right. So this year, the track the way it sets, who you looking at maybe to get out and dominate this last?
You know, if you want my honest opinion, it's going to be Kyle Larson. When we were down there in the spring, Kyle did everything but win the race. And this is before we figured out, okay, Kyle Larson and Hendrick Motorsports are really, really good. I look to see him be the car to beat. Chase Elliott will start on the pole by virtue of things that happened this past week. It's never been a great racetrack for Chase. I don't know if it's the pressure of racing in front of your hometown fans or whatever, but you know, I think Kyle Larson is going to be the guy to beat, and then maybe one of his Hendrick teammates, William Byron, Alex Bowman, I think can go down there and be fast. I want these other teams to show me that they can bring really fast race cars to the track. Right now, I think the best car outside of anybody racing for Hendrick Motorsports might be Kyle Busch, and I'm surprised I'm saying that. I thought we went through a period there where Kyle had just sort of bottomed out. He's found a little bit of his mojo again.
All right, well, good stuff, Doug. We appreciate you, but will you be careful traveling down to Atlanta behind the wheel of your own car and get back here safe?
Everybody be forewarned, okay? Attention deficit driver heading down 85.
All right. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy. You can follow Doug on Twitter at RiceMan61. All right, Billy, let's play this current events quiz. What are we dealing with?
Introducing the luckiest man in Massachusetts.
All right, 1-800-BIG-SHOW. You toll-free line across America. Take C, you will win. We play next.
Lost in the Sahara Desert, Lars has a craving. Water. Thanks to Salesforce Customer 360, the teams at Hydration Nation come to the rescue. The marketing team offers him a selection. Bubbly? And the service team suggests an upgrade. Oh, raspberry. With Salesforce Customer 360, all your teams unite around Lars to make him a happy, hydrated customer. Learn how to succeed from anywhere at salesforce.com/customer360.
This past year has shown us that without your health, you have nothing. If you're not well, you can't work, look after yourself, or take care of your family. You can't enjoy the life you worked so hard to build. That's why you need to prioritize taking care of your long-term health today, before it goes from good to bad to worse. So invest in your long-term health with Forward. Forward is intelligent medicine with a personal touch. Their doctors are dedicated to catching top killers like cancer and heart disease early, before it's too late. And catching them early could save you tens of thousands of dollars in the long run. Everyone's health history is different, which is why Forward doctors personalize a health plan with you, based on your genetics, lifestyle, and biometrics to achieve long-term results and ensure nothing gets missed. It's time to invest in a doctor that's invested in you. Go to GoForward.com today to protect your future health. That's GoForward.com. GoForward.com.
Good Thursday morning. Big Show's on the radio. Video today brought to you by Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. Shaq makes ordinary things look tiny. Funny stuff. Yeah, check out Shaq, big old boy at BigShow.com. And right now, Pep Squad. Ready?
Okay! Comb your hair and take the whiz. It's time for the current events quiz.
Hey. Let's say hey to Gary from Murray, Kentucky. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, John Boy.
Good morning, man. Welcome in here. Gary, hard part's over. Relax, listen to Bidley and win.
Well, 4 years ago, Stephen Toto of Framingham, Massachusetts, bought a state lottery ticket that ended up being a $1 million winner. Well, he hasn't played much since then, but last week he bought a ticket kind of on a whim
while gassing up at his favorite convenience store. Lo and behold, he scratched off another $1 million jackpot.
Man.
His second big win in less than 4 years. Among the reactions, A, Mr. Toto said, "I think I'll keep on playing this time." B, a state lottery spokesman said he's the luckiest guy in Massachusetts. Or C, comedian James Gregory said, "Steven, I'm home."
What you got, Gary?
Well, they all sound good, but let me flip a coin. I think I'll go with C.
C. I'm flipping a coin. If it stands on its edge, it's A.
Apparently,
I don't know. I'm looking into this too much. Gary, good work, buddy. Big old Law Tigers prize pack head up to Murray for you.
All right, thank you.
All right, bud. Bottom of the hour, top of your news. 20 minutes away from a rabbi review. Roses are red, violets are purple, you're sweet, and so is maple syrup. Good morning. This is a big show on the radio. Yeah, man, anytime. Yeah, I was. Lyrics from Dang Me from Roger Miller popped in my head during the news.
Marcy and I giggled, but it wasn't so much that what you said, it was how you stopped and looked around the room for approval.
My giggle was quiet until I honked, so I apologize. I was trying to hold it in.
All right, we're trying to fight it back. Talk about dumb stuff we done over the years. Here was a great idea, it seemed at the time.
Big Show Electronics presents the ultimate automotive upgrade, GoneStar, the satellite-powered roadside assistance system. If you have trouble on the road, just press the GoneStar button on your car's dashboard. Instantly, you're connected with the National GoneStar Call Center in Johnson City, Tennessee. Here's an actual call recorded earlier this year.
Thank you for hauling on car. It's here lately. Can I help you?
What? Listen, I'm on 85 South, about 10 miles from Columbia. My husband's having chest pains. What do I do?
Oh, take it easy around. I want to walk you right through it.
What was that?
I said I want to walk you right through it.
Do what?
Walk you right through it. Sorry, yeah.
What?
If you have a medical emergency on the road, GoneStar can make contact with local authorities in seconds.
Richland County 911, can I help you?
Evening, buddy. This here's Litley from on car. I got a woman on here with a ex-husband.
Oh, what's that?
Hello? Tell him my husband's having chest pain.
She said he's having chest pain.
Excuse me?
Chest pain. Reckon she ought to elevate his feet or something?
Do what about the heat?
Heat. That's him. Only you in Richland County speak any English?
Oh, what's that?
Do what?
English.
What?
What?
GoneStar, available at Big Lots, Sam's Club, Circle K, and better truck stops everywhere.
We're here to help.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said we're here to help, Hooven.
Good Thursday morning. Big Show's on the radio. If you're looking for tips on what to watch in the theaters, we got you, man. He's back to download us all on Hollywood's latest offering. Please welcome back to the Big Show, Rabbi Myron Bergstein.
Shalomi, homies. What's happening, John Boyum and Billy Goyam?
Oh, Rabbi, it's hot enough for you.
See, this right here, this is the reason you've been doing this for 40 years. This sort of riveting, scintillating repartee is what made you number one. Is it hard enough for you? Wow. You're good. You are good. You should write movies. And to answer your question, I'm wearing a wool full floor-length coat and a wool hat. Yeah, it's hot enough for me, you idiot. So, go ahead. I'll wait. Say it.
Say what?
It's not the heat, it's the humidity.
Oh, well, you know, that really is true.
Boy, tell me about it. I'm making matzo ball soup under this thing, I'll tell you that.
Well, what's happening at the theater?
Not a damn thing. So I had to take the streaming over on the Amazon primetime thing. There's a movie called The Tomorrow War.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Would you say that about a movie if it was called The Boring War? Anyway, it's all about these time-traveling guys from the year 2051.
Well, 30 years in the future.
Are you trying to dazzle me with your math skills? Because I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed. So, these guys come back to get people in the present day to fight an alien invasion in the future. They're getting wiped out.
Well, that seems like a hard sell to me. Now, if they're getting creamed in the future, what's your motivation to go help? You know, seems like a death wish.
Can I come back on another day, a day when thinking John Boy isn't here?
I'm just saying.
For your information, the lead guy wants to go back to save the planet for his young daughter. So, how you feeling now? Kind of selfish, huh?
Well, I guess you're right. Okay, so how's the movie?
Well, despite what some people see as plot holes, it's not bad. It's very exciting. And the lead guy is good in everything he's in. You probably know him as that... the star fella from the Protectors of the Universe. You know, that movie with the rat in the tree. He's that great leading man, Chris Wallace.
Chris Pratt.
Who?
Chris Pratt.
Huh. I thought that was the fake news guy whose brother killed all those old people.
That's Chris Cuomo.
I thought that was the Italian guy who discovered America, whose statue they keep taking down.
That's Christopher Columbus.
I thought that was that fey little munchkin on the Saturday Night Live show who played Mango.
That's Chris Kattan.
I thought that was the fat guy who delivers toys in the dead of winter.
That's Chris Kringle.
I thought that was McLovin.
That's Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Wow. I thought that was the Hollywood mom with all the big butt kids who married that man girl.
That's Kris Jenner.
I thought that was the high-end steak joint all the snobs love.
That's Ruth's Chris.
Well, who the hell am I thinking of?
Chris Pratt.
He don't think too much of himself, does he?
What do you think?
I think he and his brother ought to go to jail.
No, the movie.
Oh, well, it's a great, exciting popcorn movie. Some of it gets a little intense, but I liked it. Maybe you will. Maybe you won't. It's up to you. Go, don't go. Live your life and leave me out of it. I give it 4 out of 5 yarmulkes, and don't worry about the matinee. It's on TV, so watch it when you want, or don't. I don't care.
I like that, Johnny. Coffee. They have it in the machines.
Who don't move around out there?
You can get whatever the opposite of a brain freeze is.
Man, I put ice in my coffee during the summer times anyway.
Really?
So, yeah, I'm on. Yeah.
Look at you.
It was working. Caffeine getting us.
Ow, 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 ow.
Good morning. It's a big show on the radio Thursday, July the 8th. Yeah, big news. My boy Carl Cook heads up Big Show Foods for us. We got IGAs and KJ's stores. Few in North Carolina, all across the states of South Carolina and Georgia. And you now get your John Boy and Billy's chicken rub and pork rub and Carl and Shell's steak shake. Shelves this week, man. Also, all John Boy and Billy grilling sauces, including the Eastern Carolina sauce. This is our vinegar-based sauce. The way the Eastern Carolina style do it on barbecue. Man, y'all have, I know, been trouble finding that, so we just tickled to death. At IGA's and KJ's stores all across South Carolina, Georgia, they got it all for you. Right, good. And you can click on the Big Show store if you're outside that area. You can't find it. When you go to thebigshow.com, we'll ship it right to your door with your summertime cooking. Right. Tatertainment news in minutes in our wordy word game, classic bit of the morning. Got it all to go. It's a Big Show. Rolls on. Good morning, Big Show's on the radio. Coming up, we play wordy word, and the winner gets a Mount Olive Pickles prize pack. It includes Mount Olive hat, T-shirt, stainless tumbler, and pickle juicers. So Jackie was holding them all up. She dropped the pickle juicers.
And we've told you how huge her hands are. You know,
so, of course, pickle juicers, latest innovation for the corner of cucumber and vine, and convenient 2-ounce shooters and 64-ounce jugs. You get them now at MountOlivePickleshop.com or go to BigShow.com. Click on the Mount Olive Pickles banner. Making great products since 1926. Hang on, we'll play for it in minutes. Right now, it's time for Tatertainment News.
I told you ducking wouldn't help.
I was trying so hard to escape your view.
Tater.
Uh-huh.
I know, probably not a lot happening with celebrities over the 4th of July weekend.
Or any other time,
I
really.
mean, I could go on about who was on what, billion-dollar yacht and what Italian, ocean but I don't think you want me to just drone on about that, do you?
The Italian Ocean.
I dare you to name one Italian Ocean right now.
Well, I mean, off of Italy is what I meant to say.
That's really,
Well, I can tell you over the holiday weekend, Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton got married.
Oh, okay. Now, they were like co-judges on one of those shows, right?
On The Voice.
Yeah. Is that where they first got hooked up?
That is, yes.
Yeah. How about
I don't
that?
think their worlds would have collided otherwise. They're, as they've depicted on commercials and things, kind of the odd couple.
Right.
But it's working.
And they've been engaged forever, it seems. How long were
It
they
seems
engaged?
like they were supposed to get married during COVID, though. That was the year that they. So I think they've been engaged almost 2 years. I could be wrong on that because they were going to get married last year. But the Voice host, Carson Daly, he officiated this ceremony, made it official. And Page 6 says that, they've got all the pictures and videos and Gwen's Instagrams and stuff about it. But, yeah, apparently Blake had built a chapel on his Oklahoma farm out there.
Just for them?
Allegedly, for the occasion.
How about that?
So he was handy during COVID. So, yeah, good luck to those two kids.
So did the other guy, the boys, get his minister's license or something?
I'm sure he got it online, something like that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
easy
become a
these
reverend.
days.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope those crazy kids.
I think
will be
they
all
will.
right.
They complement each other well. Good balance. Looking at the box office from the weekend, F9 stayed parked in first place at the box office over the 4th of July. The ninth movie in the Fast and the Furious franchise earned $32.8 million between Friday and Monday, raising that total to $125.9 million.
I think the cars are actually flying in this
They
one.
might be.
They really are. There's a flying car in this one, finally, after all these years.
The Boss Baby family business opened in second place with $23 million, and that's the baby that the undercover baby core, and Alec Baldwin is the voice of the baby. That's followed by The Forever Purge. A Quiet Place Part 2 is in at number 4, and coming in at 5th place is The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Hitman's Bodyguard came in with $3.9 million.
All right.
Big space war going on. I know you guys have probably talked about that, but between Sir Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos, who was the head of Amazon there for a while.
Billionaires fighting to get in space, first, or what? Or
the Amazon founder will rocket into space on July 20th. But the Blue Origin is an automated spacecraft without a pilot, so that's what he's blasting off on the 20th. He and his brother and an 82-year-old aviation pioneer, Wally Funk, will be on New Shepard's inaugural space flights later, as will a passenger who paid $28 million at an auction for the privilege to fly with them.
Yep.
Okay, so the 70-year-old Sir Richard Branson announced last week.
He's 7 years old?
70. Did I say 7? Did I slur through that? 70-year-old Branson announced last week that his Virgin Galactic will launch this weekend, July 11th. And his spacecraft will have 2 pilots and 4 astronauts.
Huh.
It was in parentheses, so I did it that way.
So the air quotes for astronauts.
And Branson gave himself the ID on Virgin Galactic's inaugural flight as Astronaut 001. So he teased that when Virgin Galactic returns to Earth, he will reveal how you can take a ride on his spaceship. The ticket price is around $500,000 for the private astronaut experience.
All right,
Randy.
price wars from $28 million to
$500,000,
All right.
Randy. Your astronaut dreams.
It's low orbit. They're just breaking the atmosphere. That's
Hey.
all. Nope.
Further
Can't
than
go
you're getting right
spacewalking.
now.
No.
Well, it'll be just like using regular air miles. You won't be able to really go anywhere. I'm sorry, it's blacked out. Yeah.
Oh, you're 2,500 points short. Sorry.
Right.
Thanks to Deadline for that news. Hey, Bruce Springsteen's daughter, you may have heard this, is 29 years old, and she's heading to the Olympics. She will compete on the U.S. equestrian team at the Summer Games in Tokyo from August 3rd to the 7th. And the Olympics get underway on July 23rd, and they last until the end, the end of it is at August 8th.
So that's a real boss baby.
Yeah,
Right.
There you go.
And she will compete for Olympic gold. In 2012, she was an alternate, and in 2016, she was left off the team due to leg issues with her horse. So I guess they don't supply the horses. You got to bring your own horse.
No.
I don't know how that works. I was just trying to figure out how the athlete thing
This
works.
is not like iRock or the new racing series where they're all.
I thought you just like they
supposed to be
put you
equal.
on a horse
Prepared,
and then see what you can get the horse. No, that's not how it works.
A
Well,
lot of training.
well, she's ranked 3rd in the country in show jumping, according to the United States Equestrian Federation. And her horse, a 12-year-old Belgian warm blood named Don Juan van de Donkhoven. I don't know. I'm probably saying that wrong.
I hope so.
He's ranked 1st.
Huh.
All right.
So how
And so
you
he
do
turns
that?
around to her and goes, if you screw this up for me.
Yeah, because it is more the horse.
I was just asking, The horse is owned by her dad's Stonehill Farm. That's his 300-acre estate in Colts Neck, New Jersey. So just for those who wanted to head to Broadway to see Springsteen on Broadway, it's going to go dark while Jessica's in Tokyo for those dates. But he and his wife will not be able to attend due to pandemic restrictions. So they have to watch it on TV as well.
Some boss he is.
Yeah.
I'm like, Bruce, you can't get over into Tokyo?
I wonder how that's happening in Tokyo for the Olympics. I mean, they got to have crowds, right? I mean,
Yeah, but they're limiting the crowds, and in some
traveling?
cases, the family, but only like 2 people from the family.
Is that
come
right?
out.
Yeah.
The boss didn't make the cut.
No.
I don't know. Maybe
I
she had
think
to bring
so.
her coach and somebody else. Maybe that just.
I don't know.
Your
And the
boss,
horse has a lot of relatives, I think.
Well, yeah.
boss said, how much did that cost me? That's what you said.
And so that is a wrap of Tatertainment
All
News
right.
for the holiday.
Thank you very much, Marcy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, let's get us a winner. Let's play Wordy Word. All right, 1-800-BIG-SHOW, you toll-free line across America. You also go to thebigshow.com, click the on-air contest button. You want to play and can't get through? Jackie, call you. We play next. Good Thursday morning. Big Show's on the radio. Video today brought to you by Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. Shaq makes ordinary things look tiny. These some common things and how small they look when they're in or around Shaq. Well, we see any of this actually in Shaq. They're all outside of him.
I hope so.
Explaining too much. I know. I need to follow him.
We get you. We understand.
I thought you would. That's right there at thebigshow.com. And right now, let's play.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird.
Let's play the wordy word and a wordy word. Let's meet our contestants. We got Denise from Newport, Tennessee. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we got Al from Newport, Tennessee. Good morning, Al.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. All right. This is the deal I was talking about. You can go to thebigshow.com, click the on-air contest button. We've got husband and wife, father and son, father and daughter, mother and daughter. Today, Denise and Al, Jackie says they date. So we can break this relationship up before it gets too serious.
Girlfriend.
All right, well.
You better be coming home with something.
Where would you say was the strangest place you made whooping?
Easy there, Pervy. All right. So, Denise, you're on Team John Boy and Billy. And Al, the boyfriend, you got Tater and Randy on your side.
All right.
All right. So, good luck to y'all. Let's have some fun with it. Okay, so Denise, me and you are going to go for the first 30 seconds. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, then. You shot him out there, sweet thing. Start the clock now. You put this thing on a dog so he won't bite you.
A muzzle.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Aunt Jemima makes syrup to go on these.
Pancake.
Yeah. All right. The fox and the blank. Oh, blank
Hound.
dog. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. A small dog is a
pup.
Yeah. The whole word?
Puppy.
Yes. All right. A king and queen live in the
castle.
Yeah. All right. You blank your ear to put an earring in it.
Here.
Yeah. Good work, Denise. Put a 6 on the board. All right. That's it. Recognize. All right. So Al and Tater. I think Al might be the talking one in this relationship. Denise was succinct and to the point.
Distinct.
Yes.
That's right. Succinct.
Succinct. You know what word I'm looking for. Okay.
I just want to take her down.
All right. We'll talk about that later. So
we're rhyming.
Al and Tater. All right. You ready, Al?
Rhyming on that last one, Al.
Ready to go.
All right, and Tater's saying you are still rhyming.
I hope you paid attention.
A little head start on this, all right? Al and Tater, ready, go.
All right, he's mighty. He is what? It rhymes with it.
Strong.
No, it rhymes with the last word she said, which I know you weren't listening. Like a lion is this. He's very brave, but he's ferocious. He's fierce. Moving on. All right, not a circle, but this has 4 corners. It's a what?
Square.
Yes. You wear this kind of cap when you're stupid.
I'm done.
Too late. Come on, give us
go
some.
ahead,
Come
give it to him.
Woo! There. I'm a grown woman and I whined for you, okay?
Okay, so, yeah, the fierce is what it said. So Denise got one sitting there, 7-2 after round 1.
That was
All
an
right.
interesting start.
Okay.
He's mighty drunk.
All right, here we go into round 2. Denise, you're with Billy. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And go.
It's the front of your lower leg, and it really hurts when you hit it on something. Ouch.
shin.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, shin.
Rhymes with it. You might hold a diaper on a baby with one of these.
Pin.
Yeah.
Yep, this is a type of alcohol. It's a white liquor.
Gin.
Yes.
Yep, don't commit a mortal blank.
Sin.
Yes, I'm ready to start, so let's what?
Oh,
It's time
take
to...
off.
Still rhyming?
Take,
That's
All
okay.
right,
That's
we put
all
a
right.
4 on the 7
Yeah,
and
it's
11
really okay. It's
for
really
Denise.
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be because Al and Randy need
10.
9
Oh, my bad.
to tie. Yes.
good luck. Good luck.
So, me and Denise are going to sit here and enjoy Randy and Al for their 30 seconds.
And Al's thinking, I got her right where I want her. Here we go.
I'm in trouble.
Keep doing that.
All right, Al and Randy, ready, go.
Even the longest trip does this at the start. The first step.
Start.
It's a tough one. How about the Bible begins with in the
First verse.
You said begin,
Yeah,
stupid.
sure did.
Go, next word.
All right, so this is a kind of can. And in The Wizard of Oz, there was a man made of this.
10.
Yes. Rhymes with it. This is on a fish.
Scale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
rhymes with it.
Begin a rather long time. 3, yeah, not close. Denise mows down Al. His wordy word.
So how would you have done
It's going to be
begin?
a long week for
Don't look for me for help now. It's all over.
That's what I thought.
Really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, hey, the good news, you got a big old Mount Olive Pickles prize pack that both of you can sit down and enjoy with one another.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got to tell on him. This is Jackie. I got to tell on him. He talks so much junk.
Yeah, I know.
And he said, "Oh, I'm good with words. I'm going to beat her down."
I really was.
You know what's
we
funny,
do. We
Jackie?
play it together. I come here and then stifle up.
Oh, great. Good luck, Al. You're going to need it. Good morning, Big Show's on the radio. Time of the classic big request this morning. We got Todd Matthews saying, y'all crack me up. Any chance you can play that guy who said the car wreck and left it on voicemail?
Oh, the one where the guy saw it on his way to work.
Oh, yeah.
And he was running late, so he was leaving a message that he was running late.
Nice.
And he saw the wreck.
All right, Todd. Taylor knows exactly what you're talking about. And it's coming up next. Good morning, Big Show's on the radio. Classic big request from Todd Matthews. All right, Todd, here you go. It's time. Bring in the old mailbag.
Letters. Oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day.
It never stops.
Mailman, mailman, mail today. Reach right in and pull one out.
I got it.
Those letters. What? I like those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
Sheila sends this in to us. Hey, guys, don't mess with Bible-toting old ladies. Read this little explanation and listen to the voicemail. You got to laugh with the guy. On a recent Spurs trip, we were asking one of our sponsors for some funny stories or experiences with the company. The funniest story he had was when an operations manager was late for a meeting and called his boss to tell him he was running late. As he was leaving the voicemail message, he witnessed an accident and went on to provide play-by-play of the incident. After telling us the story, he promised to send us a copy of the voicemail, and here it is. This is the actual voicemail message. It was passed along and forwarded so many times it crashed our voicemail server.
Wow.
Maybe you guys could help out. All right, well, here, let's listen to this voicemail.
Hey, Mark, excuse me. I'm on my way to 3768. Kind of got hung up. It's raining out here. I'm on my way into Dallas. Jerry's probably going to be calling you to find out where I'm at if he can't get a hold of me, I'm sure. So thought, whoa. Man, I just had a wreck right in front of me. This guy ran a red light and hit four old ladies in an Impala. Just kind of clipped them, turned them around right in front of me, man. That was close. Oh, now this guy's getting out of his car. He's got a white shirt on with a tie and a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's throwing his hands up in the air like it was their fault. Oh, hold on. He's going over to their window. She's rolling down the window. Oh, man, I think she sprayed him with pepper spray, man. He's holding his face and he's on his knee. She's beating him with an umbrella. The other women are getting out, too. There's one woman with a little black person. She's tomahawking him, man. She looks like a Sunbelt 20 horsepower jackhammer. We got another woman that's she's hitting him like he's got a cattle prod, man. She's got an umbrella. She's sticking it inside. Oh, there's another one it's a little woman that looks like Mother Goose. She beat him. She's got this U-bit bag. She beat him. She's got this U-bit bag. It's huge. It's about the size of her. She's about 4 foot nothing. She hit him over the head. Everything went all over the place. Her Bible fell. She just hit him in the head with a Bible. She lifted it way overhead. It was a hardback NVI version. They're still beating the hell out of this guy. She picked his Bible up and raised it up above her head and just beamed the guy. This guy's not getting up. They're still hitting him. The one with the little black person still, all pieces of it. Okay, he's up on the car. The little woman just beamed him again with that big bag. He's running to his car. He's out of here. The little bitty Mother Goose woman. She's stuck into him as he's driving off. I wish you would have been here, man. This is too good. I gotta go.
All right, that was fun.
Another letter from our listener,
Good morning. Got the Big Show on the radio here for a few more minutes. Appreciate you kicking your Thursday off with us. Anything you might have missed? The John Boy and Billy's Late Risers podcast is dropping before high noon Eastern today. You learn more at thebigshow.com. And Randy is saying they used to tell them to subscribe, but it's a deal about Apple when they're trying to charge you something.
Well, now Apple changed their model for their podcast, and now if you want to follow someone like us at no charge, you have to select follow, not subscribe. Subscribe now means that you're going to pay for the premium service.
You got that. But the way I listen to it once in a while is from thebigshow.com. You just punch a button, it just comes up. You just listen to it right there.
Well,
and that's absolutely free.
And that's absolutely free, yes. And I just got something hooked up right before the 4th of July. Now, if you have an Alexa, you can say, Alexa, play John Boy and Billy, and it'll play the most recent version of our podcast.
All right, cool deal.
And I probably just triggered quite a few Alexas. Sorry.
Well, that would be yesterday's Big Show. So, catch up with today's, and it drops. Yeah, you'll know. All right. Hey, quick reminder, our buddy John Reap is playing in Chester, Virginia tonight. Big Thursday night show at the Perkinson Theater. So you see John there. And then coming up this weekend, James Gregory at the Franklin Theater in Franklin, Tennessee. The Saturday night show sold out real quick. They added a matinee show, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and there are tickets left for that. Going to see James, you moving around Franklin, Tennessee. All right, good deal. All right, good job, y'all. Fun day, huh? Let's try it again.
Yeah, boy, I love that wordy word.
Oh, yeah, that was good, man. So the begin word you were asking about.
Yeah, how else do you
Well, you
give
say, okay, I'm going to tell you a story. Let's start at the begin. Oh, you can't say it.
See?
That's what you did.
Very tough.
Let's blank. You're right, that was tough.
And they all lived happily ever after.
All right, Billy, let's get the blank out of here then.
Bitbox is here. Download your favorite Big Show bits, 99 cents each, 15 for $9.99. Buy them once, play them anywhere. Find your faves at thebigshow.com. Anytime's a perfect time for John Boy and Billy's Southern Sweet Tea. Y'all stock up at Food Lion or your favorite store. Order JB&B Stuff by phone, 800-471-STUFF. Online services by animink.com.
That's right. Get your Big Show 40th Anniversary Special Edition T-shirts for your cool summer wear. Visit the Big Show store. Make a daily visit to BigShow.com. Check out Shaq video I was telling you about. Love you, man.
Bastards.
Oh, wow.
From iHeartRadio, The Dawn. The definitive 24-episode podcast series on the producer of Flashdance, Beverly Hills Cop, and Top Gun, The Maverick, Don Simpson. Back in the 1980s, Don's behavior wasn't just tolerated, it was encouraged. The film industry gave Don a long leash for his high-class call girls, his alliance with the Vatican-connected Italian mob, the private eye that cleaned up his car crashes and illicit firearm schemes, the Dr. Feelgoods on retainer, the expense accounts for exotic cars and private jets and ski party orgies in Aspen. Don's black market ties were an open secret inside Hollywood, and it was Don's black market connections that led to his tragic death. Season 1 takes you into the circumstances surrounding Don's tragic death and sheds light on the unsavory characters that may have been complicit. Listen to The Don on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. 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 Your podcasts.